This Sunday, July 14th, Venezuela commemorates the birth of the Liberator Simon Bolivar and the Day of the Bolivarian Navy with official and cultural events. More than 6,000 people in the United States have been evacuated to wildfires that have consumed nearly 50 square kilometers of California's Yosemite National Park. As part of his African tour, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov met Egyptian President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi in Cairo. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Luis Alberto Matos from the TeleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. This Sunday, July 24th, Venezuela commemorates the birth of the Liberator Simon Bolivar and the Day of the Bolivarian Navy with official and cultural events. Venezuelan citizens gather in downtown Caracas, where several activities were held in honor of the Liberator Simon Bolivar on the occasion of the 239th anniversary of his birth. Likewise, they commemorate the Day of the Bolivarian Navy of Venezuela on the 199th anniversary of the naval battle at Maracaibo Lake. Within the framework of these events, a performance was staged from the house where the Liberator was born to the Bolivar Square, where an omen was placed in honor of the father of the nation. The event was attended by several national authorities, including the head of the capital government, Naval Fernandez, and the mayor of Caracas, Carmen Melendez, who during her speech highlighted the legacy of former President Hugo Chavez, who always remembered and defended the ideals of Simon Bolivar.
Our commander Chavez was inspired in the Bolivarian thought to create the Bolivarian movement 200 to start fighting more than 42 years ago. Our commander Chavez, because in the fight with Bolivarianism, we always say it, our commander Chavez lowered Bolivar from the pedestals. Our commander Chavez imprinted Bolivar in our veins, in our hearts. That is why all revolutionaries of this time said that we are Bolivarians. Bolivar's thought is always present.
Caracas Mayor Carmen Melendez also stressed the importance of keeping alive the legacy of Liberator Simon Bolivar as the greatest in the history of the Americas and the Caribbean peoples.
It is very important, friends, comrades, colleagues, that we must maintain our Bolivar as the greatest in the history of America and our Caribbean peoples. Bolivar will always be present, and we will have him in our hearts. And with Bolivar 40 years later, the naval battle of Maracaibo, another victory after 1821, the Battle of Carabobo that sealed the independence of Venezuela, and these struggles began until the last bastion left behind from Spanish Empire.
Our multi-platform media, TeleSUR, celebrates 17 years giving a voice to the peoples of Latin America, the Caribbean, and the world. Technological improvements and new formats seek to expand the impact of these stories. From Caracas, our correspondent Leonel Retamal tells us more.
Greetings of congratulations and affection after 17 years of uninterrupted transmission.
Greetings to TeleSUR on its 17th anniversary, years of work giving a voice to our people.
Because TeleSUR, in these 17 years, has shown us that it always gives more.
Constant technological improvements allowed this achievement. The most recent one, the expansion of its coverage to new satellites to reach Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East in both Spanish and English.
With the purpose of having a little more coverage to reach a greater number of cable operators or users, and that our signal finally migrate to high definition and therefore to a better quality in terms of audiovisual material and signal reception. It is important because we are taking our perspective, that of the peoples of the South, to the European continent, and this is the line that TeleSUR follows, the line of the Global South, which is different from the line the mainstream hegemonic media traditionally follow.
Throughout these years, the multi-platform has placed the peoples of the world at the center of its information, with particular emphasis on Latin America and the Caribbean. An editorial line in favor of the nobodies, as the Uruguayan writer Eduardo Galeano said once.
Great work that they carry out at a time when censorship of voices with an alternative point of view prevails worldwide.
I think you're doing a brilliant job to help our people to grow in awareness.
Young and experienced workers take up this challenge and remain committed to the mission established 17 years ago.
To head the program's guideline is to be connected to the anchor, to tell him or her what we go with and what we don't. We are the anchor's eyes and ears. Here everything is a chain. Here one's mistake is another's mistake. Each department, no matter how independent it is, always works as a team.
The challenge is not small. These are live broadcasts 24 hours a day and always looking for a distinctive approach to mainstream media. Technical and editorial teams work with this objective in mind.
It is an international channel, and sometimes one in Venezuela may think that everything happens here in the country, and they have shown me that things are different from the way most of mainstream media show it. And it has been an interesting experience.
It's exciting and it's also a rush because you don't know what can happen. Everything is very unpredictable and we always have to be aware of what is happening in the world to deliver good information to the audience.
The media industry is undergoing constant technological and audience changes, which impose permanent challenges on the programming and formats in which content is distributed, especially in social networks.
TeleSUR, Caracas, Venezuela.
Leaders of the region took to Twitter to congratulate TeleSUR on its 17th anniversary. On the occasion, the Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro tweeted, "We celebrate the anniversary of TeleSUR, which from a social and supportive vision is a window for the people. My recognition for each of its workers for their commitment, effort and dedication to bring the truth of Venezuela to the world." Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel also took to Twitter to congratulate TeleSUR on its 17th anniversary. The Cuban President wrote, "Congratulations TeleSUR from Cuba, who is and feels part of the channel founded by Chavez and Fidel. We embrace them with joy and confidence that they will continue to be the voice and face of our Latin America." Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro launched his first campaign rally ahead of elections scheduled for later this year, marking the start of the presidential campaign in the country. During a Liberal Party convention in the northern zone of Rio de Janeiro, the party officially announced the candidacy of the current president of Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro. The approval of Bolsonaro's candidacy was announced at 11:17 a.m. local time and was made through a virtual vote on the party's platform. During the event, General Walter Braga Neto was also confirmed as the candidate for vice president on the October ballot for the Liberal Party. And we're going to take a short break now. Join us again after this. Welcome back to From the South. More than 6,000 people in the United States have been evacuated to the wildfires that have consumed nearly 50 square kilometers of California's Yosemite National Park. California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency in Mariposa County on Saturday and announced that the Federal Emergency Management Agency is providing resources to put out the wildfire. Officials also report that more than 500 firefighters are working to extinguish the blaze, which has scorched thousands of acres in California. According to local officials in California, the fire has destroyed about 10 structures and threatens to hit about 2,000 more, including residential and commercial buildings. Hundreds of protesters converged on central London on Saturday to protest UK government inaction on climate change after record temperatures caused death and chaos across the continent. Different protests organized by activist groups, including Just Stop Oil Conversion Parliament Square, where protesters demanded that the conservative government stop giving new licenses for oil and gas production and help people install more energy-efficient heating in their homes. James Kidd, spokesman for Just Stop Oil, said despite strong public support, he was not optimistic that the protests will achieve their goals at the moment. Kidd said that more activists were being planned to defend their interests and that of future generations. The UK recorded its highest ever temperature of 40.3 degrees Celsius, while a heat wave across Europe has sparked wildfires that have scorched thousands of hectares of land. In Spain, meteorological authorities activated the red alert in several communities after registering temperatures above 42 degrees Celsius. According to the Spanish State Meteorological Agency, the most affected areas with a maximum temperature of 45 degrees Celsius are the province of Córdoba between 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. local time this Sunday. The meteorological authorities indicate that in the province of Cádiz, the mercury will reach 44 degrees Celsius in the afternoon of Monday, July 25th, and on the coast of Huelva, also in Andalusia, it will be just 2 degrees below. Meanwhile, several other areas in the provinces of Córdoba, Jaén, Sevilla, and Granada will experience temperatures of 42 or 43 degrees Celsius this Sunday and Monday. However, the agency keeps them under orange alert for the moment. The World Health Organization said on Saturday that the expanding monkeypox outbreak in more than 70 countries is an extraordinary situation that now qualifies as a global emergency. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus made the decision to issue the declaration despite a lack of consensus among experts serving on the UN Health Agency's Emergency Committee. It was the first time the chief of the UN Health Agency has taken such an action. A global emergency is WHO's highest level of alert, but this designation does not necessarily mean a disease is particularly transmissible or lethal. WHO's emergency chief, Dr. Michael Ryan, said the Director General made the decision to put monkeypox in that category to ensure the global community takes the current outbreak seriously. Declaring a global emergency means the monkeypox outbreak is an extraordinary event that could spill over into more countries and requires a coordinated global response. It could also spur further investment in treating the once rare disease and worsen the scramble for scarce vaccines. The German charity Sea-Watch carried out 4 operations in less than 24 hours, rescuing 428 migrants and refugees trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea from northern Africa to Europe on overcrowded rickety boats. The migrants were rescued by the crew of Sea-Watch 3, and among those taken on board were a pregnant woman and a man with severe burns. Sea-Watch 3 is urgently asking for safe port as the ship is unable to support so many people on board, according to the United Nations Agency for Refugees. 782 migrants and refugees have arrived in Italy by sea as of July 17, mostly from Bangladesh, Egypt, Tunisia, and Afghanistan. More than 1,200 people are reported to have died this year attempting to cross the Mediterranean to reach Europe. And more news coming up after a final short break, so don't go away. Welcome back to From the South. As part of his African tour, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met Egyptian President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi in Cairo. President El-Sisi welcomed the Russian Foreign Minister, who handed over to El-Sisi a message from Russian President Vladimir Putin expressing the importance Moscow attaches to strengthening its ties with Egypt. Lavrov briefed President El-Sisi on the latest developments in the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. They also discussed cooperation in food supplies and in the oil and gas sector. The President of Egypt further stressed the importance of giving priority to dialogue and diplomacy in resolving the Russian-Ukrainian conflict in the interest of international security and stability, and expressed Cairo's support for all such efforts. The Russian Ministry of Defense confirmed that strikes near the port of Odessa, Ukraine, destroyed only military targets. According to the Russian defense, on July 23rd, there were attacks aimed at military targets, and thanks to the precision of the attack, only these were destroyed. It detailed that a Calibre cruise missile destroyed a Ukrainian military vessel in the dock of the Naval repair plant, while a second missile hit a warehouse of Harpoon anti-ship missiles supplied by the United States. For their part, Ukrainian authorities accused Russia of destroying wheat warehouses and related facilities. This was spread by international media despite the fact that videos of witnesses refuted, showing that the facilities of the port of Odessa were not damaged at all. China on Sunday launched Wentian, the first lab module of its space station, atop the giant Long March 5 BG-3 carrier rocket from the Wentian spacecraft launch site on the coast of the southern island province of Hainan. The new module will function both as backup of the core module Tianhe and as powerful scientific experiment platform. The Wentian module is 17.9 meters long, has a maximum diameter of 4.2 meters, and a takeoff mass of 23. To Liu Gan, deputy chief designer of the China Manned Space Program Space Station System with the China Academy of Space Technology. The cabin Wentian is mainly for studies on space life sciences. It is equipped with scientific cabinets that can support experiments on life and ecology, biotechnology, as well as comparative studies of biological growth mechanisms under varying gravity conditions. Algeria's Foreign Minister Ramtan Lamara begins an official visit to Syria on Sunday. The head of the Algerian diplomacy was received by his counterpart, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates Faisal Al-Mekdad, at the international airport of Damascus. The two foreign ministers had the opportunity to meet in early July, when the Syrian foreign minister attended the celebration of the 60th anniversary of Algeria's independence. On that occasion, he was also received by President Abdelmajid Tebboune, and although the visiting foreign minister's agenda has not yet been released to the media, it is expected to bear some similarity to the one organized in Algeria. Iranian intelligence forces apprehended a spy network of the Israeli regime preparing terrorist actions in Iran. The Ministry of Intelligence assured that the members of the network were in close contact with Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency, through a neighboring country of Iran. Iran's intelligence agency added that the detainees entered Persian territory through the Kurdistan region. Iranian authorities stated that together with the detainees, they confiscated modern operational and communication equipment, as well as powerful explosive devices. The Persian government did not detail the number of detainees or their nationalities, but assured that the investigation and the operation are still ongoing. Thousands attended Sunday funerals for two Palestinian men killed by Israeli soldiers during overnight operations in the occupied West Bank. The Palestinian Health Ministry on Sunday said Muhammad El-Sisi, 25, was killed by a bullet to the chest, while Abdul Rahman Jamal Suleiman Sab, 28, was shot in the head. Palestinian news agency Wafa said Israeli forces stormed Al-Jasmina neighborhood in the old city of Nablus after midnight and cordoned off a house before embarking on bombing the house with explosive and gunfire, killing 2 Palestinians. According to the Palestinian Red Crescent, at least 12 others were wounded, including 1 in serious condition. More than 60 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces since the start of the year, according to an official Palestinian tally. TeleSUR English continues to grow. Its signal now reaches Europe. You can order from your cable leader or tune it yourself. These parameters that you see on screen are in place since July 1st. Quite soon, further changes will be implemented for the signals in the Middle East and Africa. Now more than ever, the world connects to us, and our stories are heard in other faraway nations. This news multi-platform will continue providing truthful content to oppose the hegemonic media's narrative and unfaithfulness to our audience. And like this, we have come to the end of this news program. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. For TeleSUR English, I'm Luis Alberto Matos. Thank you for watching.